Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Parker.
I'm Melissa Meisenheimer.
And we're going to be talking to you today about Competency 6.
The teacher understands strategies for creating an organized and productive environment and for managing students' behavior. Creating classroom rules. On the first day of school, allow your students to help create classroom rules as opposed to having them already posted. This way you're building a sense of community. The teacher will be contributing as well, and that way you're making a home feeling and welcoming atmosphere. Things to consider when creating some classroom rules. State the rules in a positive format, like walk in the hallways instead of no running in the hallways. More supportive things such as be prepared.
You also want to limit the rules to 5 or fewer, such as, like just be on time, come prepared to learn, and respect yourself and others. Limiting it to 5 or fewer makes the students not be overwhelmed and can focus on such rules that you acquire for the class. You want to use broad categories, like respect the rights and properties of others, which can cover many things. As you can see, I have put on there as far as be prompt, be prepared, be positive, be productive, and be polite. These are all very vague and can be construed by the student very differently. The first day of school, this is things we've come up with for preventing misconduct. You want to make sure to discuss and explain rules and expectations during the first day of class so the students know what to expect for the rest of the year.
Accountability. Make sure students understand what is expected of them. Model this behavior. Have students sign a code of conduct. Send this home for parents to sign as well. That way you know that they've already know the rules and this is what they're agreeing to. So if they were to break the rules and say that this didn't happen, you can take out that contract and prove to them that they did know this, that it was a rule. Never think about spending development awareness of what is expected is wasted or can be put to better use. Be consistent. Systems of rewards and consequences. Try using intrinsic rewards such as good job. Insistent teachers lose parents' respect. Encourage students to practice self-discipline. Teach life skills. Teach emotional awareness lessons, learning to control impulse, recognizing one's feelings, monitoring what those around them are feeling. Maintaining interest and maintaining discipline. Students who are actively involved in learning activities seldom create discipline problems.
Distinguishing between minor distractions and truly disruptive behavior. Some problem situations that could occur that you want to interfere more casually than the classwork. You also want to have a strong potential for impeding work or hurting feelings, and also that it involve intentional violation of classroom rules that have already been set. How to handle minor disruptions that you encounter in the class. By calling attention to minor distractions only draws attention to that person and away from learning. Once the student feels like they've been drawn out on the class, they will tend to shut down on the teacher from past observations. This just feeds students who are seeking attention. The invisible student technique works well. So basically, if you kind of almost ignore the student and make them seem like that it's not being noticed, then they will ultimately shut down with their behavior.
Reinforce desired behavior. Acknowledge and praise positive behavior, and you must be genuine. The students can tell when you're faking it or when you're nervous, so it's always good to be genuine and tell the truth. So, avoid ineffective disciplinary practice. Teachers should know which practice consistently don't work well in the classroom because it can help them to create better practices and become teachers still widely use these. As teachers, we always grow and we always learn new things each year, and it's always learning to be better. Vague or unenforceable rules such as no eating and drinking in the classrooms. Some teachers can be very lenient about that and let the students do that. Another one is being in their seats at all times, and even though we're okay with now having them move about instead of staying in place. And also another thing is cell phone policies. With technology growing in the decades, we might incorporate their cell phones use, or we can still enforce the rules and take away their cell phone usage if they're not doing any exercises properly.
I know some things about ignoring misconduct. This will be continuing with the lesson while not looking in the direction of the distraction of the student. This goes back to the invisible student, making it not aware that it's going on, or that the students still focus on you while the lesson's going on. Inconsistent responses to misbehavior. This, in what we've come up with, is basically sticking to what you say. If you do one thing with one student, you need to be the same with all students and not change your mode of behavior or discipline towards any other student. Excessive or humiliating punishment. Nowadays, this can't really be used due to that repercussions that can be handed down from the district to the teacher and or from the student, because the student nowadays has a lot of rights that they didn't have back a few years ago. Techniques that backfire sometimes while teaching. This is going to be a survey of teachers to see which methods backfired on them in the classroom. And some sins of some classroom management.
Some of these sins consist of losing it, using tense body language, using sarcasm, acting superior, having a double standard, preaching, backing a student into a corner, bringing up unrelated events, mimicking a student, commanding and demanding, raising your voice and yelling, saying because I said so, using degrading put-downs, attacking the student's character, using physical force, insisting you are right, making assumptions, pleading or bribing, making unsuitable accusations, and comparing students. Here are some of our class rules that we have come up together. Rule number 1 is to be respectful. You really want to do what you want. Treat others how you would like to be treated.
The second rule will be prepared. This can go as far as being in your seat on time, having your homework out to be graded for that day after the teacher had called roll and taken roll.
Another one is be positive. Be positive about learning and not always negative about the learning experience.
The fourth and final rule we've come up with is absolutely no cheating will be tolerated. This is just a standard I think that is in most classrooms that it does not need to be taken lightly, because the student needs to know that that cheating goes above and beyond, even on the next level academically within the college level as well.
Thank you for watching our presentation and hope that you learn lots.
Yes, thank you very much, and thank you for your attention throughout.